Hi, I'm Jessica Lahr, and this is a look at your first weekend of February ahead in the Finger Lakes. The unseasonably mild weather we've been enjoying this week will continue, but it won't be quite as balmy, with weekend highs peaking out in the upper 30s. Friday will be mostly cloudy with a high around 36 degrees. Saturday will be more of the same, except afternoon high temperatures should push near 40. Super Bowl Sunday will see mostly cloudy skies with a high in the mid-30s. Overnight lows will dip into the mid-20s. So a dry, mostly pleasant, unseasonably warm weekend ahead for the Finger Lakes. I guess Punxsutawney Phil was onto something on Tuesday morning when he didn't see his shadow. Spring may be closer than we think. For the complete forecast and live radar, visit our Weather Center online at fingerlakes1.com or on the free Finger Lakes One Android or iPhone app. Another week of above average temperatures have meant that the photos we have received do not reflect your typical midwinter scenes. Nonetheless, they have been beautiful shots of our home in the Finger Lakes, and here are our top 5 local photos of the week as selected by our staff here at fingerlakes1.com. Kicking us off at number 5, Chris Trine captured this large flock of starlings as they were busy in the apple trees on Brick Schoolhouse Road near Sodus Bay. At number 4, Jessica Underwood photographed the sun as it set over Varick Winery and Romulus on Monday evening to end the first day of February in Seneca County. Coming in at number 3, it was one of those gotta turn around and get a photo moments for Lori Dirks in Bloomfield on Saturday morning, when your eyes swear they just saw a panda in a pasture, but the belted Galloway is simply a cattle breed out of Scotland. At the second spot, Shelley Lannon found it hard to stay mad at a cute little chipmunk even after it cleaned out her bird feeder on Saturday in Ontario County. And our photo of the week comes from Lori Dirks, whose Arabian mare was seemingly exploding with energy on Saturday in Ontario. Thanks to the warmer temps, Lori took off her winter blanket, which immediately got her in a playful mood. Great photos, everyone, and thanks for sharing. You can check out all these photos and many more and learn how to share your own local photos with our users here at fingerlakes1.com by visiting our local photos page on our homepage or app. Maybe you'll find your photo in next week's Top 5.
So many sights to see on the internet, but for everything local, there's one place you can get it. At fingerlakes1.com. Come on over to fingerlakes1.com. Make us your homepage. News, weather, sports, and fun. Log on to fingerlakes1.
Local news from over 40 sources, custom local weather, over 10 hours of live broadcasts and podcasts every week on your computer, tablet, television, or smartphone. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
www.fingerlakes1.com. Come on and join the fun. Log on to fingerlakes1.
www.fingerlakes1.com.
The first weekend of February is here, and we have your top 5 Finger Lakes weekend event options. Kicking things off at number 5, the 2015 Winter Music Series continues on Friday night from 5:30 to 8:30 at Hazlitt Vineyards on Route 414 in Hector. Enjoy classic rock music with Backtalk Band, fun, and friends. No cover, beverages, snacks, and wine slushies available. More information is available online at hazlitt1852.com. Next, at number 4, check out the many animals at the Cayuga Nature Center on Toganic Boulevard in Ithaca on Saturday from noon till 1. Help feed snakes, turtles, birds, fish, and a variety of mammals as the Nature Center's staff of animal specialists answer your questions. General admission fees apply. Call 607-273-1719 for more information. Coming in at number 3, are you dreaming of a stunning garden this summer? Here's your opportunity to learn from a professional garden designer on the best ways to make your garden stand out, as Sonnenberg Gardens in Canandaigua is hosting a Principles of Garden Design workshop on Saturday from 10 to 3 p.m. To reserve your spot, visit sonnenberg.org or call 585-394-4922. At number 2, the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra will perform at the Smith Opera House on Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Sit back and enjoy the talent of Marina Pisanini on flute and greet new RPO music director Ward Stair. Tickets are $30 for adults, $25 for seniors, $10 for college students with ID, and all students through grade 12 are free. Learn more at thesmith.org. And this week's top event recommendation, Vintage Vines and Valentines in the Vine Valley this weekend. There will be a wine journey in the village of Naples on Saturday. Some call them wine walks, but in Naples, it's a wine journey. You'll stroll to 6 different wine and craft brew tastings in different locations in the quaint village of Naples. Learn more at facebook.com/vintagevines-and-valentines. So enjoy the fact that we're not freezing here in the Finger Lakes in early February and head out and enjoy everything the region has to offer this weekend. On Monday morning, Dr. Rod Littlejohn of Littlejohn Orthodontics was a guest on Weber This Week on FingerLakes1.tv. During the show, Dr. Littlejohn talks about National Children's Dental Month, which kicked off this week.
I got to ask you about a couple other points. Let's talk about February is National Children's Dental Health Month, sponsored by the ADA. Talk a bit about that.
Yeah, and I brought a little information on that. I think it's very interesting. We support that, obviously. We belong to the ADA. And National Children's Dental Health, the observance of that began in Cleveland, Ohio, believe it or not.
Wow.
Way back in 1941. It's grown from a 1 or 2 city event into a nationwide program. In 1981, the program was extended to a month-long celebration from a week. And it's known today as National Children's Dental Health Month. And Harold, the purpose is to establish great attitudes and habits at an early age, which is critical in maintaining great oral health. So we promote that. We go into the schools
I know, I saw
as many schools as we can this month, just to talk about dental care and to talk about taking great care of your teeth, diet, mouth guards, those kind of things. So we have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, that's great. And of course, you have some fun things that you do with folks, and I love the word. Where in the world is Dr. Littlejohn? I always love that, and I thought that was great. Tell us about the idea behind starting that. When you created that idea, people take vacations and show your picture. Tell us a little about the background.
Do you know, Harold, what the Dentist of the Year, what kind of an award?
No, I don't.
He gets a little plaque.
Is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
the Dentist of the Year.
Oh, that's neat. Neat.
Dental plaque.
Oh, dental. I like that. Dental plaque. You got me. It's early in the morning. I like that. But where did the idea come? Where in the world is Doctor? What did that whole program start?
Yeah, that's part of sort of our fun marketing program for the kids.
Oh, I love it.
And
so if they travel to West Palm Beach or Disney World or something,
they bring the picture. So I was at an orthodontic meeting several years ago, and one of the computer companies had a guy there doing caricatures, sketches.
Okay.
And so you sit down for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
you know, one of those real talented artsy people.
Yeah, right.
And he did the caricature of me. And so we kind of took that back to the office and decided that would be a neat thing to use.
It would be.
For the Where in the World program.
That would be super.
Yeah.
So, and I know you have a lot of different pictures on your website that show
we do.
kids and adults all across the country, or around the world that travel, and flip up your picture. It's kind of a neat idea. So I wondered if you stole that from Where in the World is Matt Lauer. Matt used to do that. And
I think he stole it from us, actually.
I think so, but Matt doesn't do that anymore. It must be a budgetary issue. When the economy was tough, they didn't want him flying all over the world. So, whatever. Dr. Rod Littlejohn's our special guest this morning. We're talking about orthodontic care, etc. Certainly without being in the chair, as we say, getting looked at by you. What are some telltale signs of issues, Doc, that you see from young children up to any age that is causing a concern? The lack of brushing, or what are the issues that you see that cause problems, like that may force them to come to see you, obviously?
Right. The interesting thing, Harold, about Seneca County is still not fluoridated.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we see a lot of patients, a lot of kids in this area that still have a lot of dental decay. And so that's why this Children's Dental Health Month is so important, because we go to the schools, we talk about brushing and flossing and those kind of things, and eating the right kind of diet. And so when kids don't do those things, obviously, with the lack of fluoride, it tends to, compound the problem, and we see kids with a lot of decay, toothaches. We see kids that have primary teeth missing because of decay, which causes other kind of problems with lack of space and things like that. So a lot of those things, pretty common to us.
I obviously knew you were coming in this one. I thought about it. All dentistry, whether you do the work you do or just a general dentist that does fillings, et cetera, I always thought it must be kind of weird for you folks in this field to sit home and try to help the folks that come to you with their dental care and turn on TV and see everybody promoting Snickers candy bars. I mean, really, it's, think about it. It's America, and, it's the freedom of speech and commercials. And I was thinking about that. It's got to be weird in a sense, because here you're trying to tell people, hey, knock off, not to say you should never have a candy bar, but moderation. I mean, it's kind of weird, thinking, wow, you get all those candies and every other minute, and of course the Super Bowl's coming up Sunday, you'll see a lot of commercials, but it's kind of weird. And but I guess in your business, Doc, and your team, you obviously shoot for 100% satisfaction with your work, and it's got to make you feel good. What I liked, and I read in your website, which Mary pointed me to, the fact that testimonials, that has got to be something close to you. The fact that people say, hey, you know what? Yeah, it costs us this much money to go through the process, but we are so thrilled with the result.
Yeah.
That's got to be what you look for.
That's what it's all about, that, that sense of appreciation. It's interesting, Harold, I was at the dental school on Tuesday working with the students up there, and there was a nice little buzz around the school because U.S. News and World Report 2016, #1 ranked profession, orthodontics.
No kidding.
One of the top 5 ranked professions was dentistry.
Wow.
So, we're pretty happy to hear that. And so that, and everything that we do in our office, I mean, we have a lot of fun. We take great care of people, and we get great results, which is really important.
Well, I know that you have a fun atmosphere, and I got to ask, the question is, how do you...
The entire half-hour show is available at FingerLakes1.tv or on our YouTube channel. Also this week on FingerLakes1.tv, on a special edition of the GolfJ.com podcast this week, Rhett Taccone was back from his trip to the PGA Merchandise Show in Orlando, Florida, and shared one of his favorite new products, footwear from Bion.
Next thing I'd like to talk about.
This is probably my personal favorite.
Yeah. I was just about to say, I think this is one of my favorites. I'm surrounded by a few things here. We did get some samples from some groups, and that's not just why we like some of these things, but to go to the next level in golf and lifestyle footwear. As you can see next to me, Bion Footwear have some of the coolest shoes out there. And I say shoes, they're golf shoes, they're street shoes. You can wear them to the course, you can wear them on the porch, on the boat, you can do you can wear them out to dinner. These things are the cat's meow when it comes to new trend in golf footwear and footwear in general. Very cool designs. They have hundreds of different colors and styles, as you can see.
Those are yours on the top, mine on the bottom.
Yeah,
I got the orange and blue.
Got you the Syracuse orange and blue, and I had to go with the camo and black. I'm drawn to the camo.
Hold one of yours up right there, because you want everybody to see. There's no laces. There's slip-ons.
There's no laces.
It looks like
completely
there
slip-ons.
could be laces, but
yep. It's an old school wingtip look with an updated color scheme. As you can see, these are a little bit wild, but that's what they're going for. They're going for something different. You can get them in a toned down look as well, like they do have all black. They have a bunch of solid colors, but
the material too. It's very strong, and it's not leather, right? It's more of a.
It's almost like rubber, but it's not rubber. It's not leather.
It's lighter than
very,
rubber.
very lightweight. These things, it's almost like you don't feel like you have anything on. And you notice the low profile on the sole, so it's very low to the ground. So the barefoot concept that people are going for these days.
Yeah.
But these things from Bion Footwear are just where it's at now and where things are going. The great thing is you slide them on at home. You get in the car, you drive to the course, you play golf, you leave them on, come home. If they got dirty, you just hose them off and let them dry. That's the type of material they are. So they're waterproof. There is holes in them for ventilation, but it's just amazing the technology in these things. There's the grip on the bottom is very good. It's low profile. They stay cool, and they're very light. And the most important thing is, from my perspective with these things, is they look good. I think they're awesome shoes, and I think these are going to be the wave of the future. They're going to catch on, and they're going to go off and running.
And I think too, with something like this, the products that get me really excited are something that, when we get back out on the course and we show up down at our club wearing those things, people are gonna be like, wow,
where'd you get those?
It's something they haven't seen before. It's something completely different. It's not your Echo, your Callaway, your Etonics, your FootJoys. It's something different, and I think that's what people are looking for.
I think so.
And not only that, once these things do proliferate a little bit, you can still be different with so much variety in the color schemes.
Yeah, and we're in a day and age where golf shoes can cost $150, $200, $250. These things $110. So you could get 2 or 3 pair for the price of what you'd have to pay for one pair of golf shoes. So they're very affordable, very stylish, and very comfortable.
Yeah, and honestly, one last thing on these things, the first thing when I put them on was perfect fit, super comfortable, and lightweight. Everybody says lightweight, but these are legitimately
these are like
almost
slippers.
Wearing nothing.
Yeah, you put a pair of slippers on, they might even weigh more than these things. They're very light.
They're 36 hole shoes.
Oh, easily, and then you can wear them home or wear them out to dinner. It's a great product they have, and the materials they're using are phenomenal. I'd highly recommend these ones to anybody else that's out there looking for some new golf shoes.
Yeah, these things might get my best in show vote, but again, this is top 10s, not in any order.
Exactly.
So
we'll get a little. I mean, we talked a lot about them, but we'll get into more detail on the Bions as we go out on the course in the spring.
Now here's another product that we both have on right now, right?
Yes, sir.
You and I
Yes,
both.
sir.
If I can, we're both. Can you guess what it is?
Yes, sir. We're going to go with the Johnny O brand sportswear. Johnny O is a golf lifestyle apparel. They basically take the laid back California vibe and take it to the golf
Groundhog
course.
Day was this week, and Kenny Haas talks about it, along with his pick for Sunday's Super Bowl on Tuesday's edition of Kenny's Two Pennies.
Hello there, and happy Groundhog Day from Kenny's Two Pennies. And it seems as though Punxsutawney Phil did not see his shadow, so I guess we're gonna have an early spring. Of course, we've had a pretty mild winter already, so 6 more weeks of this, I'll take it. Thanks to that little rodent. Of course, who needs a rodent to predict the rest of winter anyway? Oh well, let me get from Punxsutawney Phil to talking about what has become an impromptu holiday. It's Super Bowl Sunday coming up. It's the 50th anniversary of the big game, and it's Denver and Carolina who are going to be playing this year. And it's going to be the old gunslinger against the young gun. Of course, 2 years ago, you know what that got Peyton Manning. It was Manning against Russell Wilson. And you saw how Russell Wilson outdueled Peyton Manning. And I mean, from what you heard Peyton Manning whisper after Denver won the AFC Championship, you wonder if this is the old gunslinger's last rodeo. He's 39. This is his 4th time at the big dance. Of course, he's only won it once. I know he'd like to win it again. But you gotta look and see how loaded Carolina is, especially with Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, and all the others. And of course, the blindside guy, Michael Orr, protects Cam Newton. It's gonna be a heck of a game. And of course, last night they called it the Super Bowl opening night, a new fancy way to talk about Media Day, which of course the players and the coaches sometimes make fools of themselves, if you know what I mean. And of course you got all the hype leading up to it. And of course you got who's going to sing the national anthem, who's going to be the halftime entertainment. Oh well, I just rather see him play football. And of course everybody wants to look to see what commercials air because that's prime advertising real estate during the Super Bowl. You got all the ladies wondering what products are they going to put on, or what are the Clydesdales for Budweiser going to do. Of course, I look forward to that commercial, but I digress. I'd rather see him play football. And if you ask me who I think is going to win, even though it could be the last hurrah for the arguably the greatest quarterback to ever play football, I kind of think the young gun is going to have his way. I think Cam Newton and the Panthers are going to win. And I mean, if this is the last hurrah for Peyton Manning, it's been a hell of a career and I've enjoyed watching you. Well, we'll see, won't we? We go from the Super Bowl to talking about something else that seems to have a lot of hype. Too much hype. Because for the last few months, all you hear are the barbs being traded back and forth between the candidates for the Republicans and the Democrats. Well, last night, it finally came to a head. Finally, it's time for the caucuses and the primaries. Iowa, which always leads off the race heading towards the day when we elect our next president, spoke loud and clear last night. And for all his bluster, all his talk, Donald Trump didn't win the Iowa caucuses. It was Ted Cruz who came out victorious for the Republicans. But of course, all the talk is the Democrats, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton being in a dead heat. 5 votes. Yeah, and guess what? Clinton declares victory. How can you declare victory when there seems to be some absentee ballots left? Well, it's a virtual dead heat. Of course, it's on to New Hampshire next.
Finally, the Pell Mac Red Raiders varsity boys basketball team was defeated Waterloo in a game that was streamed live on FL1 Sports on Tuesday night. Pell Mac senior Devon McClain appeared on the post-game show with Brendan Harrington and Tane Robinson to talk about their season.
And back at Waterloo, as we wrap things up tonight, it's time for our post-game show. As that, of course, is brought to you by Dr. Rod Littlejohn. It's our Dr. Rod Littlejohn Smiles with Style post-game show. A 70-55 win tonight for Pell Mac over Waterloo, and a pretty balanced scoring attack from Pell Mac tonight. And one of the guys who hit double figures, Devon McClain, joining us in the postgame. He had 12 points to match your jersey number and taking care of business on the road. And really, it was the full court pressure that seemed to get you guys going today, huh? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we always go over that in practice. That's like one of our main defenses that we always get other teams with, catch them by surprise, you know. Got that length up top, so the trap really works and everybody moves.
one of the things Tony and I were talking about a little bit before the game tonight is, you guys have had a successful season, 11-7 now in the year, but it just seems like you haven't been able to put together one of those prolonged stretches, a winning streak where you really get rolling. Is that something you're hoping to do coming down the stretch here?
Yeah, we're really hoping to win out the rest of our games. We haven't been really able to put a winning streak on. It always seems that something happens at a game. It's either mental or everybody's not on their game that night, and we really need everybody on their game so we can play to our full potential.
Now, I was talking to Coach Harris at the beginning of the season. He was talking a little bit about you and, kind of your progression as a basketball player, and was talking about you back during your freshman year, and he remembered that you were, kind of the 15th man on the team that year, shared a jersey with somebody, and just talked about, kind of your success as a player, somebody who just really stuck with it, didn't give in to like, all right, I'm not starting my freshman year, and kind of progressed. Talk a little bit about that, how, you feel like you've developed over the last couple of years as a basketball player.
Right. It was hard because I didn't make it 7th grade year either, modified, so I swam that year. But then, I was like, I love basketball. I really got to get at it, so I stayed in the gym, made it 8th grade year. Freshman year, I shared a jersey, so I didn't play all games. I did some stats, and then sophomore year, I came up. Junior year, I went through the works, sat on the bench, got the time that I could, and then really put in the work so I could show out my senior year.
It's just an impressive thing to do. I mean, in this day and age, there are a lot of players that are not willing to kind of put in that time and sort of stick with it over the years, and a real credit to your perseverance of working hard, during the off season, and being a real contributor on a team that has the talent to really, make an impact coming up on sectionals.
You talk about that, it sounds like you really do, just a fan of the game of basketball. Is there anybody you model your game after, or a team in particular that you follow? Or?
I mean, it sounds usual, but, I always love Syracuse, the greats that came out of there. You got Carmelo. I really like the way Carmelo plays. I watch him and try and base my game off of his.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then, of course, playing for the Knicks now. And you keep tabs on this year's Syracuse squad, too?
Not really.
Not as much? No. Okay, because we're sweating a little bit because they're down at halftime right now. But so as you look ahead down here, as you come down the stretch, you only got a couple games left in the regular season. What do you think is going to be the key in terms of getting that momentum going into sectional?
Good practices. We got to get our practices straightened out so that we can, come in Penn Yan. Penn Yan's always tough when we play them, and Mid Lakes is no pushover either, even though they might be at the bottom of the league, any team in the league, can really show out that night. So we just everybody's got to come to play every single night. And
you're kind of in a spot, if you look at the sectional bracket, I don't know if you've talked about this as a team, or your coaches talked to you about trying to get maybe a first-round home game and slide into the number 4 spot.
Yeah, because right now we're going to Newark, and it's always tough to play in Newark,
Yep, and there's as we take a look at the point standings right there. Penn Yan, Newark, but Penn Yan's a team that's ahead of you as well, so a chance to gain some ground on them as well, so that's a real important one. So, well, congratulations. Nice performance from your team tonight. Another balanced scoring attack as, again, Pal Mac really taking care of business tonight with the win. Devon McClain joining us in the post-game show. We appreciate it, Devon. Thanks a lot. So again, thanks very much to our producer and director, Jim Sinacropi, Jeremy and Jason Hunt on camera. And for Tony Robinson, I'm Brendan Harrington. Pal Mac rolls tonight, 70-55. And just real quick before we get out of here, a look at what's coming up next. Varsity doubleheader coming up on Friday night. And February 9th, Waterloo is taking on Minders in a doubleheader starting at 6 o'clock with the girls, the boys to follow. And then looking ahead, Monday, February 12th, it'll be Sodas and North Rose Wolcott. And again, we're going to
be sure to check back at FingerLakes1.com for the latest weather forecast and local news throughout the weekend. For everyone here at FingerLakes1.com, I'm Jessica Lahr, hoping you have a fantastic weekend here in the Finger Lakes and enjoy the big game on Sunday.